What's up, everybody? It's been quite a long time since I've made a video. You know, just life, and it is winter right now, so kind of hard to do things. But I made a purchase, kind of an impulse thing, not what I expected to buy this year, but I did it, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'll show you my new bike to the channel. 2024 Yamaha TW200. So believe it or not, out of all the motorcycles I've owned over the years, this is my first brand new bike. Like straight out of the dealer. It has 3 miles on it. And sadly, none of those are from me. I haven't even ridden this thing yet. Like I said, I bought it on a whim. It was a pretty decent snowstorm the day that I bought it. It was really cold too. So they delivered it to my house for me, and unfortunately, ever since, almost 2 weeks ago now, week and a half or so, it's been like single digits, very few days like above 10 degrees, super cold. I just haven't had any desire to get out there and ride in that kind of cold. So I haven't even ridden the thing yet. Started it, but I haven't ridden it. So I'm actually going to make some mods to it before I even take it out. Like I said, it is cold, middle of winter here in Indiana. So I got some grip heaters, some universal grip heaters that just go under the grips. And I got some hand guards, like motocross style hand guards, to protect my levers and also block some wind from my hands if I'm riding when it is a little cold. Other than that, for now, that's all I'm going to do. I have some foot pegs on the way. I have some bar risers on the way as well. And then not probably going to do a whole lot more. I might make a little switch panel or something up here for a toggle switch for the grip heaters, and then if I decide to add some like off-road lights up here, which I might do. And the only other thing I really want to do possibly soon is the extended shift lever with a folding peg, just in case, I do drop this thing, which I'm sure I will. It'll fold back, it won't just bend or break. And maybe even like a little luggage rack. And if you're wondering why I said I probably will drop it, I'd consider myself a pretty seasoned road rider. I've been riding, a lot of my life, but consistently for 13 years now. And, I'm pretty good on the road. However, very, very, very little off-road dirt gravel experience. Ridden a couple dirt bikes as a kid. That's about it. So who knows? I might lose my footing. I might drop this thing. I've seen really good riders drop their bikes, so it's not uncommon. So I think that's why the handguards would be a good thing, so I don't break a lever. I'll have better foot pegs, because these things, look at that. Look how tiny those are. Those are like the same pegs from a PW50. Something, I don't know why Yamaha's never changed, but it is what it is. So bigger pegs to stand up on off-road, which should help stability. We'll see. Not a ton of mods, but for now, grip heaters, handguards, so I can get my first ride in on this thing. Later this week, it's supposed to be above freezing for the first time in a while, so I'll be doing that. Alright, as you can see, things progress pretty quick. Tank's off, all that stuff. Feels kind of weird, if I'm being honest, to rip into a brand new bike like this before I've even ridden it, but that's how it goes. So, grips are off. Always kind of a pain to get grips off, but they're off. I already got the side of the throttle tube all hollowed out, because it's actually almost completely closed, because I have to have that bar end for the handguards to go in. But I got this is the grip heater element here. You can see it's just a little stick panel with 2 wires, and heat it up. Already cleaned it with acetone, so I'm going to heat it up, get it stuck on there, and get the grip back on. Do the same to the other side, and start on the wiring. So I read some forum posts, and a lot of people say to insulate the actual bar with something on your clutch side, because the steel bar just directly will suck the heat right out of that element. So luckily I had some 1-inch shrink wrap laying around, and I got that to shrink right up, and that should do it. Give me at least some sort of barrier to not let the steel suck the heat right out of that thing. I can't be the only one who struggles with adhesive backing on stuff. I don't know what it is. And these things stick way better than I expected. I was expecting them to just like kind of pop right back off, but not bad. And by the way, I got this kit on clearance from Cycle Gear. We have a store locally here. $9.99 for this little kit. So, worth the gamble, I think. Reviews were decent. This is something I used to do as a kid when I was messing with BMX bikes, is hairspray. Helps it slide on, and then, you know, gets sticky. Doesn't stay slippery like some other things do. Smells nice too. Just don't let your wife know you're using her good expensive stuff. Probably won't go over too well. Got the wires up top. I'm going to put some nice lume on them. This side, a little more tricky because you have the throttle tube's going to twist, so you have to leave some slack. And then I'm going to have that bar end to contend with here too, so we'll see how that goes. But it's returning okay and all that. So I'm not going to go through all the boring stuff. I'll get some lume on, get the wiring started, kind of give you an overview. It's going to be boring stuff, so we'll cut to that. Alright guys, I got the wiring all done. As you can see here, I got a little inline fuse hooked up to the battery. That's going to sit right here in the side cover, so the fuse is easily accessible just in case there's any issues. Harness goes up along the factory one. I normally like to use Test-A-Tape, but the factory harness is already black tape, so I just kind of followed suit. Looks pretty damn factory. I don't think anyone would really notice it unless they knew what they were looking at. Up here on the bars, real nice lume, heat shrinked on the ends. I mean, it looks, like I said, I think pretty damn factory. Except for right here, you know, you have to leave some extra for when you go full throttle. There's enough there to where it doesn't cause any issues, but that's all good. Goes down. And I just had them on. They're still warm, even though I turned it off a few minutes ago. So, pretty cool. They're going to work good, I think. I have a toggle up here. I have to make a little panel to mount the switch. It's going to mount right above this little indicator light. I still have to do that. Shouldn't really take me too long to do. But I got to do that. And then the install for those is pretty much done. Really wasn't that bad. The wiring took a little longer than I expected just to make it look clean, but you know, I'm happy with it. It looks really good. So now on to the hand guards, and those shouldn't hopefully be too bad. Alright, well, after that last clip, battery died on the camera and I somehow lost the footage afterward, got corrupted, whatever. Such is life. Anyway, it's been quite a while. Currently now is 10 months after that. I rode the shit out of this bike throughout spring, summer, fall. Learned a lot on it, did a lot with it, took it up to Michigan multiple times, actually rode it in Texas once. Done a bunch of mods to it, so here's the sits now. It is currently December, mid-December 2025. When I first bought this was back in, I think that was March. So it's been a while. Where I left off was those heated grips and the handguards. These have been put to good use. They worked out good. Heated grips were great. A lot of things have changed. Shinko 241 front tire, which was a pretty nice upgrade over the factory Bridgestone Trail Wing. Sorry, felt much more stable. You know, it's not a perfect tire, but it did pretty good. Put on these front off-road lights. I had made a bracket out of stainless, mounted to the trees. Turned out pretty cool. Didn't use them much, but they were nice when I needed them. Tusk LED H4 headlight, which was super big upgrade. I did this Jimbo shield little windscreen. If you don't know what that is, TW200 forum, I found them. Another member actually sent that to me, so big ups to Brian for that. Just sent it to me for free. It was brand new, and it really changed the look and made it look pretty cool in my opinion. What else? I also did a stainless front brake line, which improved the front brake feel big time. Also put some really good Motor X fluid in there, so that helped. What else have I done? Oh, I made a heat shield out of some aluminum. Worked out really nicely. It's been great. I still need to powder coat it, but I was fully testing it to see if I wanted to make any changes to it before I did that. Some Fastway foot pegs. I made this a nice little cargo rack out of aluminum as well. Powder coated some wrinkle on it. It's super stable. You can lift the bike with it. I mean, it's stout. And I have a little cargo box side mount that's easily removable with those rib nuts there, and that's been great. Pro Taper ATV bars and some Tusk risers that got me to a comfortable ergo on this thing, because I was, you know, I'm not super tall, but I am 6 foot, and it feels okay now. It's acceptable to ride, where before I felt like I was really struggling. What else? I put some grippy tape on here on the frame because I had already wore through the paint with my boots. So that, the Tusk shift lever, which has taken a beating. It's bent multiple times now, and it's been okay. I actually have to change the shifter shaft. The splines are all screwed up now. But oh yeah, also I made this little switch panel. Got switch for the off-road lights, switch for the heated grips. This thing now has, if it can focus or see through the glare, 1,620 miles. That earlier in this video you seen it had 3. I hadn't even ridden it yet. But yeah, I've ridden this thing a ton. Taken it, I've done some things I never thought I would do with this thing. It's a good bike. It really is. It can do a lot more than you would think it can do, as long as you're willing to deal with, you know, the shortcomings of the bike. You have to know what you're riding. This thing is what it is. You can't expect more out of it than what it is. But if your body can take it, and, you know, you have enough skill to, overcome the shortcomings of the bike, it's great. It's a great bike regardless. It can do a lot. I have commuted with it back and forth to work a ton. I work at a steel mill, so it gets pretty dirty, but you know, it's holding up pretty well. I've scuffed up the plastics and things, but it is what it is. It's what I bought this bike for. And it's been great. I have a few more videos on it. Yamaha calls this thing the Do It All Dual Sport, or the Do All Dual Sport. I forget the exact wording. Any bike can be a do all bike as long as you are willing to do it. So I'm making a future video on that. Stay tuned for that. If you like this, I'm sorry this thing was broken up and it's not quite how I intended, but I didn't want to scrap the original footage because I was really excited about getting my first brand new bike ever. So if you guys like it, please like, comment, give me, tell me what you think, whatever, subscribe. I'm going to try to make some more videos. It's been a while, but I'm going to try to get back on it. Thanks.